Two seeds. That's one seed there. That's one seed there. It is called an ear tree because the seed looks like a human ear. It does lose its leaves in the wintertime. It's just now coming out. And this is what it looks like on the tree. So you see all those black things up there? That's all the new seeds. Now, some of you don't know the history of the family, but the lady of the house lived here until she was 109 years old. So at 100, she decided to give herself a birthday present. She came down here and she planted those beautiful hibiscus bushes out there. When she was all done, she said, "I'm a bit tired. I think I'll take a little vacation." So she and a couple of her girlfriends went to Paris on the Concorde for a long weekend. The tree in the middle is called frangipani. It's another flower that comes from Hawaii, and those beautiful pink flowers there, those are what is made into the Hawaiian lake. Now this bush right here, this is called plumbago, ground cover. It is that beautiful color most all year long. It's a very slow growing plant, whereas this beautiful vine right here, you stand next to it for 15 minutes and you're missing. It's very aggressive.
And the name is?
Bleeding Heart. So you'll see some places there's some white and red down there at the bottom. There's a little bit of white left on it. Now right here, this beautiful plant right here, this tree right here, that is a grape tree. The grapes grow on the trunk, not in the leaves. We just had a crop, and you look real close, you can see all the crushed grapes there down here on the bottom.
There is one monkey up in the tree there.
A monkey in the tree.
And we just saw them in this tree. Yeah.
Now that's what the Jabuticaba looks like, with the flowers all over it. See?
Do the monkeys eat those?
Oh, yes they do.
Yes, they do.
We're trying to teach them how to make wine, but they aren't learning too good.
That's a weird tree.
It is a weird tree. It is from Brazil. And it is a weird tree. It's very slow growing. I think it's absolutely beautiful myself.
Yeah.
Now as we come down here, all this area in front of us, at one time, that was a hardwood. And it was used in the construction of the house. But it's flowered of cypress. It only grows in fresh water. So he knew he was going to have to cut all that down because he was going to introduce salt water to the area. So when has everybody been on the house trip?
Yes.
Okay. All those ceilings, that was the Florida cypress. So now we have mangrove. Mangrove come in here. They love salt water. There's 3 different varieties, red, white, and black. And depending on the salinity of the water, depends on what kind you have here. This morning we had a treat. We had some manatees that were in here with their calves. Now along here we have these different kinds of trees. Now these papery looking trees.
Eucalyptus?
No, they are from Australia. They are in the
Yeah, that's eucalyptus.
No.
No?
Eucalyptus smells like eucalyptus.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Yeah, these don't. Okay.
No.
But the trunk is similar. Yeah.
It is similar, but these are come from the outback. They're called melaleuca.
Oh.
A tea tree?
Yeah, tea tree oil.
Tea tree oil.
Okay. Well, they have a very terrible smelling little flower.
Very
yellow.
medicinal.
Yes. And in Australia, they are very, very slow growing. Here, they're very fast growing because we get too much rain for them. But they do drink between 150 and 100 gallons a day. They were brought in here by a governor who was going to turn the Everglades into farmland. But they grow much too fast and much too aggressive. When you saw the boathouse was built in 2 stages. 1920, the far side, the low side. That was built to bring in the low boats, the supply boats from Port Everglades. In 1935, it was time the house was built, so they brought in their a 35-foot yacht from Beverly, Mass. You know where Beverly is? That's right. Yeah, right up on the coast. Yeah, they brought that down here to enjoy the winter time in Florida. Go down to the Stranding House, get their supplies, see all their friends up and down the different intercoastal areas right here. The house in Beverly is no longer there. There is still a house in Essex that belongs to them. Yeah. It doesn't belong to them, but it's still there.
Monkey crossing.
You see the water speckets there? Those are the monkeys.
Uh-huh.
Now, these trees here to your left, those are sapadilla trees, or sapadilla in Spanish. All that beautiful fruit, very, very edible. But you got to catch it right because it ripens very, very fast. You also have to know how to eat it because it has a barb inside, so you have to cut around the barb to enjoy it. Very, very sweet. This type here, it's egg-shaped. It comes from the islands off the coast. Whereas we go a little farther, and we're going to see some round ones a little bit farther down here. Right here. These come from the Philippines. They're just as edible, but you got to be very careful about eating them. Now down here in front of us, you see a big tree leaning over the pathway. That is a mahogany tree. Now mahogany is not native to Florida. The Spaniards brought it here. Beautiful example of a mahogany tree. Looks a little bit like your oak.
Uh-huh.
Now here on the corner we have a sable palm in the middle. And on the outside, that is a fig that has attached itself. That is called a strangler fig. The fig is not edible. It is just a spore that's attached itself. The spore grows on there and just uses it for support. It cannot grow from the ground up. It has to have some support. So those are just the roots. It's a parasite. It doesn't take anything off the tree. It just uses it for support.
Epiphyte, like the orchids.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That means it's just living on,
Right.
not killing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't hurt the tree, but it'll get so big that it'll cut the light off and cut it and kill it that way.
Yeah.
Now these are different kinds of mango trees down here to my left. Mr. Burge was an arborist. He wanted to play around with nature. He and David Fairchild from Fairchild Gardens, they would practice the play, see what would grow in Florida. There are more different varieties of mango in South Florida than there is in any part of the world. The tree on the corner, that's a sea grape tree. Sea grapes produce fruit. They'll be coming out pretty soon. They ripen in October. They're used for making jelly, jam, and a beautiful, beautiful wine. As we come around the corner, I want you to notice that little blue sign and that scraggly looking tree behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she planted that in 1993. That tree actually comes from Madagascar. It is a baobab tree.
Oh, wow.
Now,
Okay.
for those who don't know what a baobab tree looks
Oh
like,
my gosh.
this is what it looks like when it grows, fully grown. So eventually that tree is going to take this place over.
I was just about to say in Africa they have pubs inside them, but there's
That's
a
a
picture
pub.
of it. Yeah.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
the baobab.
There's a baobab tree. Yep. Yep. How old is that plant? 93. Arbor Day of 93, so it's not that old.
That's thousands.
This is 1,000 years old,
Mhm.
yeah. This is 1,000 years old, yeah. this blue plant right here, that's called blue agave. Now that has many purposes. The root is used for making tequila. The sap is used for making sugar or medicine. And the leaf of the plant is used for making hemp. At one time in the middle of Florida, there were lots and lots of these plantations, but it's much cheaper because of labor to make them in Honduras. Now
And
this,
what's those called?
that, take, go over there and take a feel of the leaf, and I'll tell you afterwards.
Take a what?
Feel the leaf.
Feel the leaf.
Feel the leaf.
Okay. Okay. Very brittle.
That is called cardboard palm.
A what?
Cardboard palm.
Cardboard. I was thinking paper. Wow. Okay. Cardboard palm.
Now that's very slow growing. It's probably probably 100 years old, and
Wow.
it grows about 1 inch a year. And it used to live with the dinosaurs. And
Yeah.
it feels just like cardboard. And those are the beautiful seeds there. So, to my left, this tree right here, that's called a 7-year apple. Now, the fruit that's on there is not apple, it's in the
Cassia.
fig family. It's called 7-year apple because the blossom looks like an apple blossom. It takes 7 years from seed to fruit. It is also a Florida native tree. You can eat it, you don't want to.
Cassia.
Over here to our left, where you see this yellow stick. Now the tree behind that stick, that is a in the poison ivy family. It's called a poison wood tree. You don't want to be near that when it's raining. This right here is a 7-year. This right here is a silver palm. It takes about 60 years for that bush to grow. About 100 years for the tall one. Come on, Dan. Go ahead. Come on. Now this over here with the spike coming out of the middle of the bush. Now that's called a century plant. Years ago, it'd take 100 years for that plant to grow out, that stalk to come out of there. But nowadays, it takes about 10 years. And all that stuff up on top, that's all the seeds. So when the plant starts to produce the seeds, the host starts to die. It wants to throw that spike out to replant itself. So there's two different kinds right there. The one on the right and the one on the left. There's another tall one over here.
Yeah.
Over there. Now those came out in the last month or so. Now this right here, these are different kinds of aloe plants. Everybody who lives in Florida has a house, has to have aloe. That's great for a burn.
Yeah, we have it in Norway too.
You break it off and you use it anytime you get a fat burn or a candle burn or something like that. You rub it on there, even sunburn, it's great for it. Yep.
In Norway, it's a pot plant though.
And where?
Norway. I'm
Norway.
from Norway.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not the monkey.
That is called desert rose right there.
Oh, what's that?
That is a pencil tree.
Ah.
Now the interesting thing about the pencil tree is the sap, watch your head, the sap is a paralytic. You take this, you break it, you throw it on top of a pond, it paralyzes the fish. So you take this
What?
and you break it, you see that sap coming out?
Uh-huh.
That's a paralytic. So you throw this on top of a pond and it paralyzes the fish. That's how you go fishing here.
Well, okay.
So you guys have nets, we have sap.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You sap the fish.
Yeah. they just paralyzed and you throw them out in the ground and they come back to life in about 10 minutes.